Okay, my lovely, beautiful friends. I mean that. You're all my lovely, beautiful friends. All right, look, we got to talk. A lot of stuff happened today. We heard from the Fed, the ECB. A whole bunch of stuff is happening here. But what's the story? Pretty simple. Nice rally on Wall Street, just like I predicted would happen yesterday. Dow put on 530 points. Very nice day across the board. Okay, so was that the real story? How about no? How about no? The real story is the 10-year yield. People, I just looked at the 10-year yield. 0.79 and a dollar that is a little bit weaker. The only thing missing here is crude oil. Crude oil did fall into some pressure today, although it came off of the lows. If they manage to push up crude oil with the dollar being weak here, with the 10-year yield where it is, this rally will move. Stocks will go much higher. Now, me personally, I could have just made a pretty big mistake today. Let me explain that to you. I always talk to my lions out here and explain to them that your number one job as a trader is to pull profits. Well, yesterday, when the announcement came out that President Trump was halting all talks regarding stimulus until after the election, I mean, the stock market dropped. My first knee-jerk reaction was to buy that dip. I didn't care what caused the problem. I knew the market was going up. And when I found out that it was President Trump here with this threat, I realized, okay, this is all complete garbage and this market will rebound. And I went in here and I bought big time. I mean, I got a lot of Benjamin Franklin's in the game right now. And that's what I'm leading to. I did not close a single position today, although I have profit here. I'm still waiting for profit in Disney, as most of you are, but my other trades did pretty well. Should I have closed those trades today and locked up that profit? Well, if I listened to myself, I probably would have. But I think gauging here from the 10-year yield, the dollar, and the fact that, again, we got this reversal from the president, absolutely to be expected. Nobody that I know of that has a slight understanding of the market or how the president thinks realized that he would not cave within 72 hours. And that was what I said. And you know what? One of you put your money where your mouth was. You bet me that I would be wrong. You know who I'm talking about. You asked me not to mention your name. That I would be wrong on that 72 hours. And you did, sir, donate to a charity you believe in with the cash that you bet me. Well, you know what? That makes you a stand-up guy. And I want you to know I appreciate that. All right, so anyway, look. Let's move forward here. So this was the initial spark for the market. Again, the reversal from the president. Okay, we got Pelosi talking again. We got Mnuchin talking again, just like they were prior to the president saying, no stimulus. You got to laugh. I mean, again, the man is an open book. That's his weakness, unfortunately. And he's too easy to read. That's the truth. All right, so anyway, that's how the market started. And we got a further boost from the European Central Bank. Yes, the European Central Bank is promising more easy money. And the Federal Reserve, we heard from Powell today, who is explaining that the Federal Reserve will keep rates low through you might as well sit down for this one, 2026 to 2026. Look, I'm getting tongue-tied. At least 2026. Could you imagine what this means? How much cash is the Federal Reserve going to need to create out of thin air? And how much debt is the Federal Reserve going to need to buy to keep rates suppressed till at least 2026? And he also said in the Fed minutes today, he's going to use all of his tools. All of the tools. That's what he will use. The Fed has one tool. One. And you know what it is if you follow this blog. Debt. Do you realize, how many of you realize what I'm about to tell you? We could eliminate the Federal Reserve in a microsecond. A microsecond. All it would take, and I am being as serious as a heart attack right here. All it would take is preventing the Federal Reserve from printing one more single dollar. Just one. The moment the Federal Reserve would stop printing one more dollar, they die. Again, the entire debt-based economic model, what we have on a global scale, is 100% dependent on the Federal Reserve issuing more debt exponentially in perpetuity. If the Federal Reserve were to stop printing one more dollar, they die. But also the world dies. The entire system that is dependent upon relentless acquisition of debt in perpetuity would immediately and completely collapse. This is how the Federal Reserve keeps their stranglehold. We cannot prevent the Fed from issuing not even one more dollar. I mean, we can't stop them from we can't. The Federal Reserve has more power than you can possibly imagine at this time. Again, why? The US dollar is the world reserve currency. And this is why all the nonsense and garbage and propaganda and fake news about the president ending the Fed made me laugh like I can't tell you. Anyone with even the slightest understanding of this should have known right off the bat that this is an impossibility, okay? The Fed is going to inflate, like I've explained to you, forever. And gauging from what we heard today, suppress rates until at least 2026. And the Fed is going to use all their tools. Yeah. Well, you know what this means. Very stock market positive, very middle class negative. They're going to kill the dollar by design. And what that means is the middle class is going to get sucked down with it, and that's really a shame. All right, so let's cover some more things. Our cryptocurrencies put on a bid. Gold and silver didn't do too much today. Like I explained to you, dollar weaker. Crude oil really needs to catch a bid here that will keep this rally going. And that 10-year yield is a big one, 0.79. That is pretty interesting here. So let's do a little blow by blow here. And I like doing this lately. I want to cover this with you, a lot of stuff. So let's do this. Let's have a little bit of fun. My computer is so slow sometimes. Here we go. So look, I do not agree with Cramer 90% of the times, but Cramer went off on the president today, live on CNBC, over his reversal. And again, look, this was no ploy. This was no tactic. Again, the man really cannot negotiate himself out of anything. He goes to bankruptcy and or catches COVID. But again, this is, just look at his record here with China. Trade wars are easy to win, everyone. Oh yeah, we'll get taken so much money from these tariffs. Both of these things couldn't have gone more wrong. You want to talk about fail? He should have failure written across his forehead. So with that, Jim Cramer went nuts here. So here we go. The airline stocks today took off, and this is exactly why. In a tweet, President Trump is calling for another multi-billion-dollar airline bailout. And this is his exact words from the tweet. The House and Senate should immediately approve $25 billion for airline support. Well, I don't know why he doesn't call it a second bailout, because he already gave them $25 billion on the premise that they wouldn't fire anyone. Well, they're firing people anyway. Make America great again. Way to go, Mr. President. Airline stocks sharply higher after President Trump tweets billions in more aid. Fantastic. How about an executive order maybe to support the middle class? Oh, we can't do that. No, can't be done. But we can give Wall Street all the money they want. Yeah, absolutely. Let's move forward here, people. I talked about this market all day long with regard to how it would perform. And again, it actually kind of outperformed what I thought it would, but that was only because of the ECB, and that was because of the Federal Reserve. So here we go. It is just a matter of time, people, before more corporate bailouts are put in place. And I believe that Disney, which is a position I'm holding, will also ask for and get a bailout. I just made fun of this, and I'm just going to read this to you. Art of the deal. When all else fails, declare bankruptcy or catch COVID. What do you think? Sounds good? Now, I've explained to you that we are in the middle of the biggest wealth transfer in the history of the world. Total billionaire wealth surges $10.2 trillion during this pandemic, while the middle class has gotten decimated. Do you need any more proof that Greg Mannarino is correct yet again? It's unbelievable. But again, you go ahead and you rah, rah, rah. Let's make America great again. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strongly do you support President Trump's idea of another airline bailout and potentially more corporate bailouts? On a scale of 1 to 10, I will read the comments. Let's move forward here a little bit more. I want to thank all of you for something sincerely. I write articles for the Trends Journal. I do this for free. If you don't believe that, ask Gerald Celente. I write these articles for nothing. I think they're important. That's why I do it. And I have gotten such an overwhelming amount of positive feedback. Of course, I get some haters. But for the most part, and I mean for like 96+%, amazing feedback from all of you. And I want to thank all of you from my heart. Honestly, that's the truth here. And I did give this guy, here, I'm going to give him another shout out. Wow, a respectful gentleman who bet that I would be wrong on Trump folding within 72 hours did donate his bet to a charity. Thus far, and this is the truth, he is the only one I heard from who did that. My hat goes off to you, sir. That's the truth. We got to pay this forward. Let's also do this. So again, Mnuchin and Pelosi are resuming discussions after Trump changes course. This is Market Watch. Unreal. Anyway, look, just get on the right side of this. Understand how the president's mind works, and you'll get rich too. It's that simple. Play the market according to the guy, because you know what he's going to do. It's too honestly. How about this one? I have to laugh even louder. The POTUS fold deniers are saying I overreacted to POTUS calling off the talks, then reversing it in less than 24 hours. Really? No. I bought that dip knowing he would fold, and I nailed it to the wall. Sorry you lose. Me and my Lions win. La-dee-freaking-da. Kramer, you are going to be on the wrong side of the trade if you invest based on Trump tweets. Yeah, Mr. Kramer, I've beat you up a hell of a lot, but I will give you credit here. I actually felt bad for the president today, I'm not going to lie. He got hit from, the courts hit him today, and his own party is trying to torpedo him. The president's own party is trying to torpedo him. Do you know why? Look this up for yourself if you don't believe me. I posted links. He doesn't have the votes, Republican votes, to back his stimulus. He's being torpedoed. I think they want him out. Really do. They might be saying one thing, just like this. I'll read this to you a second. His party supporters might be saying one thing, but underneath it all, I think they want him out. How about this one? This is a flashback to 2016 where President Trump called Pence a loser. Why would I want that guy to be my VP? Well, it's interesting. You put something out online and it just never goes away. Anyway, this is funny. Let me just draw your attention to this. Months ago, I explained to you the market was pricing in a Joe Biden win. Stocks were going to go higher because of that. Now, over the past few weeks, we're getting this. Here's why a Democratic win, presidential win, would be good for the market. It's everywhere. It's everywhere now. It's astonishing to me how behind the curve these mainstream people are that read scripts. It's unfreaking believable. It really, really is. Anyway, all in all, this was a lovely day in this market. I got something wrong. A lot of people say Greg doesn't admit things when he gets things wrong. Well, I'm going to admit it right here. The financial sector, I've been telling you all to be careful with this lately and be cautious, and I told you I wouldn't buy it. Well, it turned out to be a wrong call. If I had bought, let's say, the XLF ETF, I would have made a lot of money, and so would you. I wasn't watching the yield curve closely enough. If I had been paying more attention, watching how It's gotten a lot steeper lately. I would have bought that. So yeah, my call on XLF was wrong. Oh well, I didn't lose any money. I didn't buy it, but I could have made us all money, and I do apologize for that, really. And again, can you imagine how much cash the Fed will have to create out of thin air and how much debt they will have to buy in order to keep rates suppressed until at least 2026? Astronomical amounts. Astro-freaking-nomical amounts. It's just so, and we can end the Fed in a microsecond, like I said. Let me read this to you one more time. You know what's crazy? We could end the Fed in a microsecond. If the Fed could be prevented from issuing a single dollar of more debt, they die. A single dollar. Of course, that would collapse the entire world, as the debt-based economic model runs solely on debt accumulation in perpetuity. It's pretty outrageous. Absolutely. And here's another one. Betting markets see a Biden win as increasingly likely. Stocks to rise. Duh. I mean, come on. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Christine Lagarde pledges no premature removal of monetary support. Christine Lagarde, really? You're going to get a duh as well. I just can't believe this. And shorts today? Short positions got decimated. I feel so bad for people that are getting short this market, because I know there's a few YouTube blogs out here with a lot more subs than mine that are not market people telling people to bet against this market. You're getting crucified. Absolutely crucified. You know what? I'm going to max out of this. Why in the world anyone would listen to a YouTuber, I don't care how many subs they got, who has not even one brain cell that understands the stock market, and they're trying to give advice on the markets? They should be sued. All of you out here that are losing money because of these freaks, sue them. Sue them. You understand? It's incredible. It really is. All right, look, I'm out of here. I hope this video has made sense to you. I covered a lot of things here. Thank you. I picked up another 1,000 subs overnight. Beautiful. People know the truth when they hear it. Anyway, this guy really does love all of you. See you in the morning. I'm gone.